Fabulous. Well, thank you to everyone for turning up. Great to see so many people. And this is only just really come on my radar in the last week about these changes that are occurring. Now, I knew that YouTube was going to be used a lot more by Google because Google owns YouTube for SEO into 2025. In fact, it's already doing it now, which is kind of like adding another quality element for you, for your SEO, for your search engine optimization, for people finding you, because YouTube is very controllable, whereas websites aren't controllable. Anybody can put any old rubbish on the website. In fact, there are plugins that will upload a unique AI-generated blog every 5 minutes on your website if you want to pay some money for it to do that. So quantity is not winning out now, quality is. And that's the way that it seems to be going. And so obviously YouTube is an environment in which you can only put so much information. There's only so much space for your description. There's only so much space for your tags or your keywords. There's only so much space for the description of your channel. There's only so much space for the tags for your channel, though a lot of people don't even do that much. And obviously, the longer your videos, the chances less percentage of your video is going to get watched as well. So, it's important to have videos as long as they need to be, but as short enough to be getting all the information across. So it's what I call a multiple container environment is YouTube. And so Google can decide what it wants to grade as being of value. Now, there's lots of things that I know about that it grades of which is of value, like when you upload your video, always make sure that your video is titled on your computer, the title that you want for your video on YouTube. Otherwise, it just becomes video number 1 in their files. And when Google goes in there to search the background information, they're just seeing video number 1, which gives them no value whatsoever. So always do that. And always choose your titles carefully. This talks about titles. This training talks about titles. I'm going to do what I don't normally do. I usually just talk, but I'm actually going to show you the screen and just run through this because it is so kind of new. And there is a bit of technical sort of stuff. When I say technical stuff, there is a bit of conceptual stuff to get your heads around, which is going to be important that you follow that. Now, at the end, you're going to see a video script that follows all of the rules that what these new changes are suggesting. So I'll actually show you a video script on the screen. So it gives you an idea. The recording of this will be shared in the free section of the Therapy Business Club. The PDF that I'm actually delivering all this from, which is actually over 30 pages long, will only be in the paid section. So if you watch this and you think this is going to be absolutely a game changer for my business in 2025, then I do recommend that you join the Therapy Business Club to get access to the 30-page PDF, because it has a cheat sheet for everything that I'm going to talk about tonight on top of what I'm talking about tonight. So there's an extra A4 on each section. So without further ado, I will share my screen and we'll dive in because there's a lot to go through, and hopefully we'll finish by 9 o'clock, but we will have some time to ask some questions as well. So let's make sure that I'm on the right sheet. And if Charles, if you could just give us the thumbs up. Okay, great. Don't you love this really young rendition that's supposed to be me by AI? I was quite pleased with that, as if only if I was that good looking when I was that age. So basically, YouTube 2025 is going to require you to have some strategy in what you're doing. And the first part of that strategy is that it's going to make sure that you're going to be turning up on the homepage of YouTube, which means that the smaller, newer channels are going to get more visibility based on the effort that they're putting in. So just because your channel's got 50,000 views and you're posting a video every day, and or you're Pepsi or somebody like that, doesn't give you any preference. If the smaller channels are following these certain rules, they're going to have just as much chance of getting on the first page of YouTube. And that is massive. Absolutely massive. So the first rule is that you want to be using an engaging title for your video. It wants to be searchable. It wants to be enticing or create some curiosity. You want to have some keywords in there with maybe an intriguing twist, i.e. some curiosity. And again, with your title, make sure that the video that you make on your computer or on Canva or wherever it is, that you've done your title research, your keyword research for the title. Make sure you've done that before you actually upload your video to YouTube. What it does, it automatically populates the space where it says title on YouTube with that title. But that video then goes into the archives, into the back end of YouTube, and it is searchable by Google when it's searching on YouTube. The same for your thumbnail. Whatever the title of your video is, when you generate your thumbnail in Canva, make sure that you make the thumbnail the title. There's no conflicting files there because obviously your video is going to be an MP4 and your thumbnail, always make your thumbnail a PNG file, a high definition file. A JPEG file won't cut it. It wants to be a PNG file when you're uploading that to YouTube. And the thing is with a thumbnail, it wants to be strong. It wants to be visually representing the video's main point. It wants to be simple. It wants to be clear. It wants to stand out. Now, the big mistake that I see people making with YouTube thumbnails is that they try and throw the kitchen sink at it. It's a bit like when, if anybody's old enough like I am to remember desktop publishing, do you remember the first leaflets that people produced when desktop publishing came out? They used every font available. It was like typography vomit. Everything was thrown at it. Every color, every font. It's like there was no design to it. There was no style to it. Well, the same applies to your thumbnails. They want to basically get people's attention and let them know what your point is that you're making. Now, here's quite a game changer, but that very few people do. And that is to hook the viewer immediately. Grab their attention in the first 5 to 10 seconds. Maybe it's a question. Maybe you're telling them a statistic. Maybe you're giving them an inspirational scenario. Maybe you're telling them what to expect. Just like I told you that you would expect to get the video script that demonstrates all of this towards the end of this session. That is probably the most important part of this entire video that I'm going to show you, that video script. And then, and this is another big one, guide the viewers to the next video. Don't end the video by saying, thanks for watching my video, bye, have a nice week. You end your video by saying, watch the next video in this series. Or if this video interested you and you'd like to find some ways of dealing with anxiety when you're out on the move and you can't be visually doing something strange, then watch my covert anxiety video. I just made that up. By clicking on the link in the description, or it might be that you put an end screen on the video where you actually show the next video that they can click on. The idea is continuity. So you might think, all right, well, I'm going to make a video on this, but I don't know what I'm going to make a video for next week. Well, that won't cut it now. You need to plan. Planning is essential because you can't make a video today and then say, oh, I recommend my next video in the series if you haven't made that next video in the series, and neither can you link to it. So there's a certain element of backwards engineering needed to go on here. It's kind of like you need to create the last video first and then work your way back, because then you can refer to the next video. You see what I mean? Now, it might be that you've already got a channel and you've already got some videos on your channel that you would like to refer people to. But the idea is that we want to get viewers binge watching our videos. Now, you'll see a lot of the big YouTube channels doing this. You know, Joe Rogan or whatever it is, they'll be looking at it and then it'll show, watch this next video where I interview this other scientist. They've got it. They've got a strategy. The reason they're big and the reason why they grow is because they've got strategies in place. So making a video in isolation and thinking, oh, we'll see how that goes, isn't going to cut it. If you really want to do well on YouTube, continuity is key. And if you think about it, if somebody comes onto your channel and watches your video all the way through to the end, because you've made it engaging and you've said, stick around to the end because I'm going to teach you something at the end, not only are they watching your video all the way through, which gets you huge brownie points because the length of watch time on your video is more important than the views that you're getting. Because it means that, I mean, look at it like this. If somebody's watching your video for 5 seconds and it's a 2-minute video and then they leave and go somewhere else, that's one view. Now, how is that any value if they've only watched it for 5 seconds? So Google aren't going to value that. But if somebody watches your video 70% of the way through, then Google's going to think, oh, hang on a minute, there's some engagement here, there's some interest, there's some value in the content. So quality over quantity. So you're interested in keeping people on. That's why it's important, and it makes sense. If you was to make a 30-minute video, it makes sense to break it down into 10 3-minute videos, and at the end of each video to say, watch my next video to find out how to ABC, do that. So what it says is that the video should feel like you're on a continuous journey. It's like one more video to watch. And then they get to the end of that. Oh, I'm hooked now. I'm watching another one. And that's going to help to drive people to your business, because throughout that process, you're going to be directing them to go and click a link in your description or go to your website. So that's why a website's important, because they're going to go to your website where they can book a discovery call or whatever they're going to consume there, watch a video or whatever. So what we've done is I've broken this down into 7 steps. So we'll start with the first step, if I can get my cursor to work. So here we go. So the first one, capture the attention with an engaging title. So obviously, in order to do that, you want the keywords in there because it wants to be searchable. It wants to be discoverable to get attention. You want the keywords in there because obviously the keyword is what they're searching for. But also add that interesting twist. You know, so they give an example. Instead of how to lose weight, try how to lose 30 pounds without giving up pizza. See how that's far more interesting and intriguing. Because how to lose weight is a bit boring. But how to lose 30 pounds is specific without giving up something. Because everyone thinks they've got to give something up if they're going to lose weight. So you're acting against that objection handling as well in the brain. And you can also use numbers to help create that curiosity, like, you know, 5 Instagram marketing hacks that doubled my followers in 30 days. Look at the numbers. 5 hacks that doubled in 30 days. Numbers always get people's attention. Obviously, that doesn't apply to our industry. So what I've done is I've created some examples. But the goal is to make titles that balance searchability with the attention-grabbing elements to make sure that they're searched. And if they go onto the homepage of YouTube, then they're very visible as well. So let's just look at some examples. So we've got 5 examples there. So if you imagine that, and I've used the example of the fear of flying. Okay, so imagine you wanted to create a video about the fear of flying and hypnosis, overcome fear of flying. 3 proven hypnotherapy techniques you can start today. Now, people are going to watch that. You're not selling something, you're actually giving some value. So they're going to watch that. It combines a nice, clear solution and an outcome. Or how hypnotherapy helped me conquer my fear of flying without medication. Now, that could be that one of your customers has given you a testimonial, a video testimonial. So you introduce the video and you say, in this video, I'm going to share one of my clients' experiences of how they conquered the fear of flying without medication. And then you play that video. So it's a way of introducing it. And at the end of it, it could be, if you'd like to watch another one of my customer reviews, how they overcome something else that might be related to flying, which could be, it could be related to being in small spaces or something like that, because obviously you're in a small space when you're flying. Then you can link things like that to it logically. Another one, fear of flying, 5 powerful mind tricks to calm anxiety before takeoff. So that's something that they can take with them when they're in the departure lounge. So there are many touch points. So, these 5 titles could be a series of 5 videos that you create, that you link one to the other to get people watching. From panic to peace, how hypnosis helps you fly calmly in just 2 sessions. Look at the promise that's in there, a transformation that you're promising. And you're getting the keywords in there, flying calmly, hypnosis, he's been specific. Or fear of flying be gone. Hypnotherapist tips for the next flight. So it might be you're just giving him tips, because if you're providing value, then people are going to pay attention. So lots of great advice there about video titles to get curiosity, to get their attention, searchability. So remember, searchability and the actual attention grabbing value of the title as well. We don't put enough thought into video titles, trust me. So this is going to be, a big shift for you. So the next one, and what I'll do is once I've shown you the next batch, then we'll see if there's any questions come up, okay? And then it'll give my voice a break for 5 seconds. So the next one is create an eye-catching thumbnail. So design a thumbnail that highlights the core value or the key takeaway of your video. So the thumbnail wants to be representative of what the title of the video is. And it says, to keep it simple, limit the thumbnail to like 3 elements. Maybe a face to get attention. Apparently eyes looking straight at you are really, really good for getting your attention, because we always, when somebody looks straight at us, we give it attention. Maybe an icon and some minimal text, because the text, if it's looked at on a mobile, is going to be really small and you want to be able to read it. And, if a video was about budgeting or something like that, it might be that there's the icon might be something like a bank statement or something. But use facial expressions or emotions that relate to the video's message. So I'm going to give you some examples of some great thumbnails. So here's thumbnail number 1, which is overcome fear of flying. So we've got a face smiling because obviously they're happy now. And they're flying calmly. In fact, they're having a sleep while they're on the long-haul flight. It's a close-up of a smiling face, a small airplane icon, and bold text. Fly calmly. It's almost like an embedded command, isn't it? But to see it, and it's like, fly calmly. Oh, yeah, that's appealing to me, because I'm a nervous wreck when I fly. And the goal is to show a peaceful state, which is a contrast to the anxiety of flying. So you're showing them a picture of their future. And it appeals to those people who want some calmness during flights, the ones who don't have to go and neck a few Prosecco's before they get on the plane. Or another one could be hypnotherapy success. A surprise face with their hands held in relief, airplane in the background. No more fear, again, showing what they've achieved. I haven't put an example for all of these. I put another example towards the end. Um, how to fly anxiety free. A person in a relaxed posture with a small thought bubble showing a serene plane in the sky and the text anxiety free flights. Sounds like an advert for Virgin, doesn't it? But really, why shouldn't it? They're selling flights. You're selling the opportunity to get on an aeroplane without any fear. And another one, from panic to peace. Before and after images, maybe a nervous expression, then a relaxed expression, a smiling face with the text fly in peace. It communicates exactly what they're going to be experiencing. So here's another example of a thumbnail. And that one's fear-free flights in 2 sessions. So you're being very specific, no more fear in your flight. It's in 2 sessions. And then you're showing a very serene face. And it reinforces the promise of those quick results because it's 2 sessions. And it's for people who are looking for a nice, quick solution. So that's where we're up to there. I'll break from that. And then if you've got any questions, I can't read the questions in the chat because I'll strain my neck because it's on my other screen up there. But if there's any questions that are coming up that are really specific, Charles, and if you could have a look, that would be really.
Linda's got one she wants to ask.
Yeah. Fire away, Linda.
I'm just wondering the ideal time for videos.
Length of time.
Yep.
Okay. I guess there is no exact answer for that, in the sense that if you're trying to get something across, then you want to get it across succinctly, but you don't want to be laboring the point. So when I show you the script at the end, it'll give you an idea of how much information you really want to make sure that you get in there. I would say it's probably possible to keep it to maybe 2 minutes. 2 minutes is a fair amount, 160 words, that the average sort of speaking pace. Because obviously you're not putting them to sleep. You're not delivering it very slowly. You're going to be, it's a sales. You're delivering something with some energy. So you should be able to get 130 words in a minute, I reckon. So yeah, a couple of minutes would be, for me, quite ideal. When I make my videos in the morning, they tend to be a couple of minutes long, and I get all the information across. But
is there a time though that people will stop listening? Like after 10 minutes, boom, people switch.
Well, again, it's really difficult because if you captured their attention and what you're delivering to them is like really important for them to watch and that there's value in it, then they're going to stay, especially if you've primed them well. So if somebody's got to watch a video and it's like a little sort of training video of some kind, or you're going to teach them some kind of technique, they're not going to cut off halfway through the technique if they're invested in it. So I just think it's kind of cut the waffle at the beginning, cut any waffle at the end. That's an English term for talking too much. And then in the middle, make sure that your brevity, but don't make it too brief. You want to cover all the points. I think it comes down a lot of the times to common sense that, I've got something to teach or I've got something to share. And I guess the thing to remember is it's never about you. It's always about the audience. So, they're wanting to get some knowledge, achieve something, whatever it is. It's always about them. So make sure that you're delivering it for them and you've got them in mind, and they're going to get the information as quick as they possibly can without being rushed. It really is a balancing act. I'm sorry I can't be more specific, but I think it's one of those things where I've never been able to answer that question, and none of my coaches have. When it comes to YouTube, it's like you've got to do the job and polish it and do it as well as you can. I hope that helps, Linda. All right, thanks. Hi, Alison.
Hi. You mentioned at the start about guiding viewers to the next video.
Hmm.
Does that mean that we have to have, or we should have all videos prepared and post them at the same time? Or should we have them all prepared and post them, for example, I don't know, like a week apart, just sort of say tune in for the next video that'll be coming soon?
Oh yeah, never tell them that's
Do,
coming soon.
do you see what I mean? It's just like
Yeah,
the logistics of how to do it.
that's why I think I said you've got to backwards engineer it. So if you've got a
Hmm.
series of 5 videos, yeah, if you put
Hmm.
2 videos on, yeah,
Hmm.
then it'll be the 4th video and the 5th video, and the 4th video will be saying, watch the next video in this series, right? And then you put maybe, and I wouldn't put more than 4 videos up a day because you might get blocked. I know people who have had their YouTube channel kind of blocked if they put more than 4 videos up in one day. But just the next day, you might add the other 3. I mean, you're not losing out on anything because nobody's going to be visiting it particularly. And then all of a sudden you've got all 5 in place, and number 1 tells you to go to number 2. Number 2 says either go to my website now and book a discovery call, or watch this next video, and then that next video is already there. So if you imagine you're working backwards, you're backwards engineering the process.
Hmm. That next video should always be there already. That's what I'm trying to
Yep.
get at. Or
Oh yeah,
because
it would be.
if you're not posting it till the next day or something, and you say watch the next video, if there's not a next video
Okay.
to watch.
So the logic is if you've got 5 videos in a series and
Hmm.
you put number 5 in first,
Hmm.
that's the last video. Then you put number 4, and it says at the end of that video, watch the next video. Then there's no cliff to fall off.
Ah, okay.
You see what I mean? And then you put
Yes.
in number 3, and then number 2, number 1. It all runs in sequence. You can't get caught out.
Okay, that's useful because I was thinking, would it be better for YouTube's point of view that you post regularly, you put videos on regularly rather than sort of dump a pile in one go?
Well, if you're really sort of serious on the YouTube and videos, you're going to be posting most days anyway. Or you might miss a day or whatever. But there's definite spikes. We see definite spikes in view numbers when there's a regular posting sequence. Definitely
Okay.
reflects in the amount of views. But at the end of the day, when you're doing this like 5, and I'm only using 5 as an example, when you're doing 5 videos like that, you're not looking for instant results from that. You're building a funnel. So you're not going to get the results that day. You're going to see those results over a length of time as your channel and as your subscribers build and as people find your video through searchability. So that's really how it will work. But imagine the satisfaction of putting 5 videos on, knowing that they're all linked to each other, and with every other video, it's telling them to go and book a discovery call, or if you was
Hmm.
interested in this, then you've got that binge watching going on.
Awesome. Thank you.
Really powerful. Great question, because that kind of clarifies it for everybody else who may be wondering, how the hell do I do that? Because yeah, it is a bit. If you have got to get your head around it, that it's backwards engineering. So any other questions?
Hi.
Sally?
Oh.
Yeah, Sally?
Oh, no, I was just asking the same question. Because I thought you meant like you make one video and then would you chunk it into bits to create, say if you made one long video about a subject and then chunk it into bits and then just, make them 2 minute.
Only if you actually made it and then you actually made it as 5 individual videos all stuck together at first, because then you're going to have a beginning and end of the video. Then you're going to have to say, on this video, I'm doing, and you just got to remember that you kind of like get back into character of introducing the video again, and then go through the main content, and then you give a call to action at the end, and then you kind of go on this video, and then so you could do it all in one go, if you was like stealth like that, and you was like confident in doing it all in one go, and you had your sort of script already, or you could just make individual videos. Personally, I'd wait until you get really good at making individual videos and then go kind of like, bulk on it.
Okay. I was thinking the same thing as the other 2 ladies, that's all. And so just during your when you were talking, you said something about breaking it into 5 pieces, and I thought, oh, is that what you meant, do one video and then chunk it into 5?
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, you can, but you've just got to think of the logic. There's a beginning and an end to every video.
Okay.
You want to introduce them. You want to talk about what it's going to be. So there'll always be a beginning and an end to a video. So always think of that aspect if you are going to make a nice long video, and then chop it up into little sausages. Okay,
Okay, thank you.
wonderful. Great question again around the kind of aspect of making the videos in the first place, which is important. Any other questions before we dive into the next one? Okay, let's dive in. So,
Kat's just raised a hand.
oh, sorry, Kat, fire away.
Hi, Kev.
Hi.
How do I link a video to another one on YouTube?
Okay, so it's called an end screen, and it's a function within YouTube, and we've got some training in it about that in the Therapy Business Club.
I'll have a look.
There is some. It's under YouTube Unplugged, and it talks about the subscription, the intro and the outro, and it's under that section, and they're individual videos, so there is the training in there already.
Oh, thank you, Kev.
Brilliant. Okay, so let's dive into, am I on the right screen there, Charles? Can you see your face, the lady's face? Yeah.
No, you're on the script.
Okay. Right,
Section 2.
Wrong one then. Stop share. Go back here. There you are. Right. Okay.
Yep.
Wonderful. Okay, so the next one is to hook people in the first 5 to 10 seconds. So you want to start the video with a hook to keep them watching. And you could use a provocative question. And there's a provocative question. What if I told you your resume is actually pushing employers away? You know, it's like, huh? Am I missing something here? Or did you know that 73% of couples say that this thing ruined their wedding day? You know, curiosity. You're creating curiosity. But you're actually speaking those words. Imagine walking to the office to find your team has doubled productivity without working longer hours. Huh? I'm curious. How did they do that? So it's creating that curiosity. But don't worry, you don't have to think of these yourself. I've actually put some ideas together. But you're capturing their attention immediately to prevent them going, oh, this isn't interesting, because someone else is vying for their attention. So if we look at the examples, what if I told you the fear of flying could disappear in just 2 sessions? Now, that's an extension to what the title of the video might be and the thumbnail might be. But you're actually explicitly saying it. Or did you know that 25% of people experience flight anxiety, yet only 1% get the help they need? That's making that assumption that there is help out there. So the curious. Or imagine boarding your next flight feeling completely calm, relaxed, and ready to enjoy your journey. You know, you're offering something there that the curious, that, oh, I'm going to watch this. What's this? You know, or ever feel like your heart races just at the thought of flying? I used to feel that way too until I found this solution, curiosity. Or the immediate benefit of, by the end of this video, you'll have 3 powerful techniques to start feeling at ease about your next flight. I know somebody who used to get nervous just thinking about going on an airplane and going in to book their holidays. It was the worst experience. They just wanted to get on the ground on holiday, but then they had to go through that misery all the way back again. And it used to really tarnish their holidays. So you're starting it off almost with a question, a statistic, some kind of connection, or maybe an immediate benefit. It's getting their attention and they're like, oh, I'm going to watch this. I'm going to watch this. I want to know more. So again, an important aspect of they're on your video, they're watching it now, we want to keep them on there. And the next thing is to structure your videos for maximum engagement. So this is what I talked about, the flow. Yeah. So, you know, you've got them in there, and right after that hook, yeah, outline what they'll gain by watching the video. I'll show you the top 3 tips to lose weight without dieting. Now that's an extension to the original hook, the one before, or dive into the main points of that tutorial and let them know that you're giving real world examples and client stories to keep it relatable. Or you might transition to another video. Before the video wraps up, you can say to them, to avoid going anywhere else, you can say, there's a next video coming up about this topic. And you might say that halfway through. So you're actually future pacing it, which we all know about that. So the idea is that you're maintaining their interest from start to finish. And then you're going to direct them towards another video to boost those video metrics, those metrics that YouTube are so desperate for you to get. So here's some examples with a flying situation. So how to calmly, sorry, I can't even see it. I've got my camera in front of it. So how to calm flying anxiety in 3 simple steps. So you might say in this video, I'll share 3 powerful techniques to calm your flying anxiety. And you can try them right now. And then you introduce the techniques. So obviously, you've got to deliver on your promise. No point in promising something and not delivering on it. Yeah. And you might give a real life story to see how it worked in practice. And then you might say, now that you have these techniques, take a further look at my next video where I guide you through the pre-flight relaxation exercise. You see, you're actually, you're teaching them one thing, and then you're saying, I've got something else for you as well. Another example, from fearful flyer to confident traveler. By the end of this video, you will have a 4 clear step approach to feeling calm and confident about flying. There's the promise. And then you're going to break down each step. And it's going to be relatable. And then you can transition them to another video. Once you've got these steps, head to my next video for a deeper dive into visualizations that make flying feel effortless. So you're promising even more value. So another example was 3 myths about the fear of flying and how to break free. There's a promise. So today we're debunking the top 3 myths about flying and what really helps to fly without fear. And then you address each myth because you're promising on what you're actually saying. You're telling them about the techniques. And then you can talk about long-term solutions by checking out your next video. How to maintain your calm during your flight. So essentially what this is it's a copywriting exercise, isn't it? I'm sure you've twigged on this already. This is a copywriting exercise. So once again, why hypnotherapy works for fear of flying. In this video, I'll explain how hypnotherapy actually rewires the fear of response to flying. And then you break down a little bit of the science behind it. Not too much. People don't want that much education, but maybe you could share some success stories as well. And then you say, ready to give it a try? In my next video, I'll guide you through a beginner-friendly hypnosis session. That word, beginner-friendly. So anybody who's never experienced hypnosis, like, oh, I don't want to be mind controlled or anything. You've already said beginner-friendly. Again, objection handling. So it makes it a lot friendlier. And then the next one, quick tips for fear-free flights under 5 minutes. And you're saying, stick with me for 5 minutes. Now, there's a perfect example of how you can get away with delivering something that's longer. You're saying, stick with me for 5 minutes and you'll learn top tips to feel calm and collected and confident. And then you rapidly cover those tips, but you've got their attention for 5 minutes if it's engaging. And he's saying, if the tips helped, check out my next video for a complete pre-flight relaxation routine you can use before any flight. So it's very much a copywriting exercise. And you really do want to be working on your copywriting. So the next one is to boost discoverability and engagement on the YouTube's homepage. So remember, titles and thumbnails should always work together to compel people to click on. Now, Your thumbnail doesn't have to be identical to your title of the video. It can be a reinforcement of it. If your title's a little bit longer, then you can take the keywords out of that to grab the attention and put that on your thumbnail. They don't have to be a direct copy. But the important thing is that you want to be focusing on watch time, not actual views. You want to keep your content engaging throughout with stories, whatever you can share, or any intriguing insights. People want to feel as though they're learning something new. And if people watch that video all the way through, YouTube will continue to promote your video on the homepage because you're gaining brownie points from them, because you're satisfying their algorithm. So you're looking at increasing the click-through rate. That means increasing the amount of people who click on your thumbnail to actually watch your video. And then the watch time wants to be improved. And if that watch time is improved, then you're going to stick around on the homepage. So here's some examples on that. So make sure that the title, overcome fear of flying in 3 steps, backed by science. This is one of the ones earlier. The title offers a clear solution and a credibility with backed by science. And maybe the thumbnail features a calm face, airplane icon like you saw before, and the text that says fear-free flights. So can you see how all of it melds together? And your watch time strategy would be you start with the hook about the surprising effectiveness of these steps. Then you dive into each step. So this is really a summary of what you're doing. And you talk about client stories. Might be that you've got some videos that you could slide in there of actual testimonials. But it's going to keep viewers engaged through storytelling. It's a well-known fact that if you're watching a video and it's all the same all the way through, then people tend to glaze over. But if you're watching a video and it's this testimonial, it's that testimonial, it's this testimonial, that testimonial, people are like, oh, wow, wow, wow. It's kind of like shiny object syndrome. They're watching it. And all of a sudden, 2 minutes, 3 minutes has gone. So remember, it's going to be, these videos are not designed to put people to sleep or they won't work. So again, title and thumbnail. Why the fear of flying isn't your fault and how to fix it. The title builds curiosity. It's not your fault. You're not to blame. And then that thumbnail will show a calm person with a plane in the background and the words, it's not your fault. It's again a powerful image. And you might start that video like, open with an empathic question like, do you feel embarrassed by the fear of flying? I'm sure a lot of people do. Especially if they're a bit proud. Some 6'6" bloke scared of getting on a plane, and there's his wife and his kids getting on there, and he's all a quiver. It'd feel a bit embarrassing, can't it? And it can discuss the common causes, share relatable examples, and guide viewers through the solutions, keeping them engaged with that personal touch all the time. So there's some more examples here. And I know time's getting on, so I'll kind of glide through these because I'm sure you get the gist of this. Title and thumbnail want to work together. Visually and the words want to work together. And then the content wants to be a reflection on that. So again, to encourage that binge watching, to signal to YouTube that you've got high value content. And if you can get viewers to watch multiple videos by strategically linking them together, you're on a win. And you do that by teasing that the next video is like, the next part is so important that I made a whole video about it. I mean, that's really drawing attention. Click on the video to watch next, which click on the little thumbnail of the next video. That'll be on the end screen. You can add links to related videos in the video's description, and you can mention that in the video. You can even say, if you're on camera, down in the description, because the description is below it, down in the description, you'll see a link to the exact video that I'm relating to here. You might do that halfway through. Now, the fact is that you've told them halfway through, but they're not going to want to miss what they're already listening to. So they're going to wait till the end before they go below, but they know where they're going. But you've just got it in there to create that continuity. And avoid any language like, thank you. Instead say, you know, something that is going to bridge them to the next video. Because the goal is to create a seamless experience that feels like a journey that they're taking with you. You're holding their attention all the way through. So a few little examples. So tease for the next video. Now that you know how hypnosis works, you're ready to learn specific techniques. Watch my next video for a full pre-flight relaxation session. And you're going to include a link to that relaxation session in the video description, so below, and in the end screen. And you can even put it as a comment and pin it to make it easy to continue watching. So you can even put a comment yourself in the comments underneath the video. Now, a lot of people do that. You can actually put a link in that comment to the next video. So you're covering all bases, really. So again, if you did a top 3 breathing techniques to stay calm during a flight, you know, tease for the next video. These breathing techniques are perfect for in-flight anxiety. But if pre-flight nerves are your main issue, I've got a dedicated video for that. Click here to prepare before you board. And then you're going to link to a pre-flight preparation video in the description, end screen, in comments. Having comments that you've put in there with a link in there is all stimulating the chance of people commenting or clicking or thumbs up to the comment and all things like that. It's all what I call touch points. You're creating lots of touch points within the channel. And there's some more examples there as well. And then number 7 is turn views into clients. Because that's the whole point of doing this in the first place, isn't it? We're not here for the fun of being YouTube stars. We want some money out of it. We want some customers out of it. Yeah. So you turn your views into, you know, with a call to action into clients. So you have calls to action. Now, what they suggest is like every 4th video, encourage viewers to engage with your business. Book a discovery call with me. You can have all that information in your description anyway. And if people are so enjoying your videos, they're going to search you out in your description and find out how to, but don't be selling in every video because it turns people off. The whole idea is if you're delivering value and then you're saying, give, it's just a big turn off. So you're offering a specific service that might be related to what you're talking about in the video. So you might say, ready to take this further? Book a free consultation with me to get personalized strategies. Because some people might have a very quirky reason why they can't, you know, work on their issue with what you're sharing on the video. I mean, it's going to be the case in most cases. So you want to convert YouTube viewing into business leads. And you do that by keeping them engaged. And you're offering them a clear next step. So here's some examples for that. Imagine feeling calm and confident before or during the flight. Ready to start that journey? Book a free consultation to explore how hypnotherapy can work for you. And you're positioning that call to action as an inviting first step. You're not saying spend money with me. You're saying book a free consultation. And you're asking them to visualize the success that they're going to enjoy. You know, you're future pacing the experience. You know, if these tips resonate with you, you're looking for something tailored to your unique experience. I mean, who isn't? Let's chat. Click the link to book a one-to-one session designed just for you. And emphasize that customization. Great wording here. Imagine being able to relax, board, and enjoy every flight. Let's make it happen. I mean, how encouraging does that sound? Book a consultation with me today and let's create a plan that works for you. You know, it's all about them. Look at it. Imagine being able to relax, to board and enjoy every flight. Let's make it happen. Book a consultation with me today and let's create a plan that works for you. It's so client focused, and it inspires them. You're giving them a visualization. Super, super powerful. And they say by following the steps, you'll be well prepared to capture attention, increase the watch time, create a pathway from YouTube views to your real business growth by using those strategies. Now, before I share the video script, I will just open it up for some questions. So let me get that loaded and ready, just to keep you teasing you till the end. It's a technique. Anne, got a question?
Yeah, on the call to action, like about book a consultation or whatever with me, do you put a link in YouTube, or do you send a link to your website, for example?
Well, if you're saying book a if you're giving them a specific book discovery call with me, then you can actually show your website address on the screen. You can say, oh, click on the link in the description below. So you guide them. You don't leave it a mystery. You guide them. So you make sure that you've got a clickable link, which means that it has to be the HTTPS : // You can't just put www in there. It won't work. And you need to verify your account before that link will go live. So you need to go into your YouTube channel and go into settings and then go into channel and make sure it's verified. A lot of people don't, and that's why the links don't work. But that's the trainings in the YouTube Unplugged anyway, in the group, about doing all of that. But yeah, if you're having a call to action that is a direct call to action, then you spell it out. Be very specific about it. It isn't kind of like, oh, get in touch. That'd be lovely. I'd love to speak to you, kind of thing. I mean, we're selling something. And so the same energy that you're delivering everything with needs to be the same energy that you're delivering because you're confident about your services. I need a drink of water. But yeah, you make it very, very clear and specific.
Okay.
And as it said, you can put your link in a comment. You can put your link in the description, or you could put your link on the end of the actually visually on the screen as well. So there's lots of potential touch points where they can get through and get in touch with you. And I say this, if you've made it interesting enough, they'll go and try and find you anyway. But you don't want to make them work for it. They've already done the work. They've been watching your videos. They're invested. They're engaged. So you just make it as easy as possible.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't do it in every video, because the call to action that in the videos is to watch another video, because your whole aim with this is to stay high up on the searchability. Because if there's millions of people looking for hypnotherapy and you're lost amongst the sea of other hypnotherapists, then you're going to be getting 1 or 2 clicks. But if you've done it all right and you're up there on that homepage and they're loving you and they keep putting you on there, you're going to be in thousands of views. Because it's like it's an Oprah effect, as they call it. Your book's going to go to #1, even if it's rubbish. So, it's visibility, exposure, all those things.
Okay. Thanks, Kev.
Okay. Any other questions about? I know I've covered a hell of a lot. It's a lot to take in, but you can watch the video back again. Alison.
Hi, yeah, just a quick one. From what I can recall, the thumbnail pictures that you put up, the images, didn't mention hypnotherapy in them. Is that does it matter? Is it, the fear of flying? Is it just because you're trying to sell the solution, basically?
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to have hypnotherapy mentioned?
The titles tended to have hypnotherapy in them of the videos.
Yep.
The videos, the thumbnails were to complement the title. So they were there to get attention. And so if the video thumbnail gets, creates that curiosity, and then people look down and see the title of the video, and then they can see what they're letting themselves in for. But it doesn't have to say hypnotherapy in your thumbnail. The other interesting thing is as well, you can test thumbnails. Now, YouTube now is give people the option of split testing thumbnails. So you can actually load 3 thumbnails for every video that you put on. And you could test 3 different types of thumbnails. After a few thousand views, I reckon it will be, then YouTube will select the one thumbnail that got the longest engagement. So it's allowing split testing for free, which is incredible because, you know, you put a thumbnail and think, oh, that'll do. And it might just not be, you know, it might not be cutting it. But now you can actually load up 3 thumbnails with every video that you put on and test those ideas out. And after a time, it won't be immediately because they'll probably say there isn't enough watch time generated yet to view it. But after a time, it'll select the one thumbnail because it delivers them randomly, you see. So, you know, every 3 persons, they see a different thumbnail if you put 3 on. You can put 2 on, but you can put up to 3 on. And then they will select the one that got the longest view time and they're ranking it. That just shows how the longer view time in percentage is ranking higher than views. So look at that. And that's just when you upload your video, you go down and it says thumbnail, it'll select a screen grab from your video if you haven't got a thumbnail. And if there's 3 little dots on the little block that says plus next to the existing thumbnail that it's screen grabbed from your video, you click on 3 little dots and it'll say split test or something to that effect. You click on it and it opens up 3 blocks. You click on each cross and then you can download a video for each of those blocks and then click save and it's doing its job. That's another rollout that they've done. Again, because they know that video is going to be massive in the future because it's getting consumed more and more every single day. Okay, so do you want to see the script? Right, kept you waiting all this time. So let me make sure I get the right screen this time. So let's have a look. And it is, yes. Okay. So video script. So we're just going to break it down. So imagine it was overcome fear of flying, hypnosis techniques for calm and confidence. So the thumbnail details might be a close-up of a relaxed, smiling face with a small airplane icon. And then in bold text, fear-free flights. Because anyone who's frightened of flying is going to know what that means. And you've got the words hypnotherapy there in the title. And the goal is to instantly convey the feeling of peace and confidence relating to flying. And it's appealing to people who want to conquer their anxiety. So I'll read the text out for you and just see to show how it all flows. So first of all, there's a hook. What if I told you that your fear of flying could be overcome in just a few hypnosis sessions? Stick with me and I'll share the powerful techniques that can help you feel calm and confident on any flight. And you've said, stick with me. There's a promise, isn't there? Yeah. And then you're giving them a sneak peek. In this video, I'll walk you through 3 simple proven hypnosis techniques designed to ease your flying anxiety, plus a bonus exercise to practice before your next flight. By the end, you'll be ready to take control of fly fear-free and fly fear-free. It's a tongue twister. Right, another drink of water. So you've got them. You're telling them what to expect. You're going to walk them through 3 simple exercises. So example number 2, a breathing anchor. Let's start with a breathing technique to create a calming anchor. When you're seated and start to feel anxious, take a slow, deep breath. Hold for a few seconds and exhale slowly. Imagine each breath releasing tension and increasing calmness. Repeat this 5 times, making each breath your calm anchor. Many of my clients report this as their go-to strategy for in-flight calmness. And then you say, technique number 2. Next is visualization, a powerful tool in hypnosis. Close your eyes and picture yourself confidently boarding a plane. Stand in your seat, feeling totally relaxed. Visualize every detail, the seats, the sounds, the cabin lights. Imagine a calm feeling spreading from head to toe as you sit down and enjoy the flight. Doing this visualization daily helps build confidence and rewires your fear response over time. And then number three, finally, let's use a positive reinforcement mantra. As your flight approaches, repeat the phrases like, I am safe, I am calm, flying is easy for me. Say those in your mind. These phrases repeated in a relaxed state reinforce a sense of security and peace. You can even write them on a card and keep them on your and keep them with you on the plane. And then a call to action. Book. If these techniques are helpful, but you're ready for a deeper approach, consider booking a free consultation with me. We can create a custom hypnosis plan to help you conquer your fear of flying once and for all. Just click the link in the description to get started. And then finally, the continuation. These techniques are a great foundation. But if you're looking for a complete pre-flight relaxation routine, head over to my next video where I guide you through a full 5-minute exercise to help you feel fully prepared for takeoff. Click here to watch, and let's make flying a positive experience together. Now, if we looked at the length of that video, let me just check how long it is, if I can copy it. How many words? Because I'm curious. Obviously, there's a few extra bits in there that I don't actually need. So copy, and I'm going to stick that in a Word document and just see how many words there is in that. I'll tell you how long that would be. So it is. Come on, give me the details. Let's see if it'll give me it now. It's not telling me. I don't know if it's the way I've saved it, maybe. No. But anyway, I would say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's 144, 208, about 350 words. So less than 3 minutes to do all of that. And I mean, there are no wasted words in there at all. No wasted words at all. Now, the other good news is that I've actually created a custom GPT that will actually help you do all of this from start to finish. And also within this PDF for anybody in the Therapy Business Club, you also get a cheat sheet for every single section. So a cheat sheet on creating the titles, that gives you a full breakdown with examples, and then a cheat sheet on the creating the thumbnails, and then another cheat sheet for creating that irresistible hook, giving you really the rules around it all. And then the cheat sheet for structuring the videos for maximum engagement. And then one for boosting that discoverability and the engagement on YouTube's homepage. And then encouraging those binge watching signals. And then finally, your call to actions. It's all there in that document. So you've got one hell of a document there with everything. And it gives you a checklist at the end of each cheat sheet that you're making sure that you're doing all those things. Now, it might look like a lot of work, but once you've done it once, and with the using that custom GPT, it's going to make light work of it all the way through. So you really have got a little business there, in a sense. It's so comprehensive. So that, my friends, is it. It's all there. I'm going to stop sharing now.